Oh, my microphone finally got shipped.
Oh, yay!
It only took like 3 months, but I can look forward to that.
Was it how long is the shipping gonna take?
It's probably just gonna take like a week.
Gross. I think Amazon has spoiled us with 2-day shipping.
Yeah.
Now if something doesn't ship in 2 days, I'm like, well, fuck it. Is there even a point in buying it? Hello, listeners, and thank you for tuning into Those Nerds Over There. This is an enthusiast podcast centered around celebrating and discussing nerd culture. We're your hosts. I'm Alan.
And I'm Sal.
And Sal Ishnu Allah.
I'm sorry, what?
A loon be with you, Sal.
A loon?
A loon, yes. Clearly you've never played any World of Warcraft.
Ah, I see.
Yes, now that WoW Classic is out, I finally breached the last bastion of nerdom.
Is that the last bastion?
I don't that was for a while, right? What is it nowadays?
LARPing? Probably, okay. Yeah.
Probably. I feel like that's going to be replaced by something else.
I mean, maybe, but we still have yet to reach peak nerd.
But no, I started WoW Classic with our friend Suspiria. I'm loving it. Listeners, if any of you are on Farbank's server, please add me. I'm Ariel Eyes. I'm having such a wonderful time.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. I think part of it was like the subscription, but now that I'm an adult and I have money, I can actually enjoy it.
Wow, who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
You know, being an adult has its benefits sometimes.
I was going to say all the time. No, sorry. That came out more contrarian than I meant it to be.
Yes.
I just meant to say I love being an adult. I like myself way more than I did in high school.
I guess.
Aw.
No, definitely I like myself more than I was in high school, but at the same time, adulting sucks. So, you know. It's funny that you bring up that whatever saying you brought up.
Wait, the saying? What saying?
You said something at the beginning.
Oh, the WoW speak?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, the WoW speak. I don't know what it is. What is it?
It's Darnassian, Sal. Come on.
I'm sorry. Sumimasen. But you know how I do the whole, Catholic rest in peace thing?
Oh, yeah. In public, right?
Yeah. And so I do that. I think that's funny. But since I've been watching Fire Force, I'm like, I should do the whole Latom.
Oh my god, crossing the hands.
Yes, that's so good. I love it.
That's gonna be like a deep cut in public, and people are like, "What's he doing?" But the real people will know.
Only the real weebs. Oh man. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm enjoying WoW Classic. Let's get into this nerd question, Sal.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, were you getting a sip?
Yep.
People, we get dry mouths. But hello, first-time listeners. If you don't know what this is what we call the Nut Jar. It's a jar we filled with listener-submitted questions that are just very fun, general, or very niche nerd questions. If you want a shout-out on the show, feel free to send some kind of fun question to us at our Twitter, ThoseNerdsCast, or our email, thosenerdscast@gmail.com. If you do send in a question, feel free to include some kind of cool social media tag so we can, shout you out and direct cool people towards you. But without further ado.
Yeah, your tag doesn't have to be cool.
I mean, mine is nonsense. It's Ariel Eyes, and what the fuck does that mean? All right. So this question comes from my friend Jeff. Sal, if you remember, he asked the question last time, who you think from Pokemon would most likely become homeless.
Uh-huh. Can't forget that one.
Nope. And he specifically wanted his LinkedIn shouted out. So, any professionals out there on LinkedIn, his name is Jeffrey Young, JEFFREYYEUNG. He's currently the quality assurance analyst at Cloudcade Incorporated.
Whoa.
In the San Francisco Bay Area in California. He graduated from University of Nevada, Reno. Fun fact, he used to be a professional or, semi-professional or CSGO player. So there's his professional bona fides.
Those credentials, though.
Love you, Jeff. But this week he asked, who would you rather loan money to, Jessie or James from Team Rocket?
Oh, God. Does he have, an obsession with the Pokemon universe's, financial... financial standing? I don't...
I didn't realize... There is a common thread between these questions.
Oh, man, that's great.
All right, Jessie or James from Team Rockets. Who would you rather loan money to?
Probably James.
Really? I was going to say Jessie.
Really? Why?
Okay, because James comes from a rich family. He doesn't need it. Meanwhile, Jessie grew up hella poor.
I mean, I feel like Jessie would probably do something evil with it, and
Evil?
James...
She what? I'm sure Jessie still has student loans from her time trying to become a nurse Joy. I get it.
Yeah, she's gonna...
Medical student loans suck.
A Pokemon thief is still worried about paying off student loans, definitely.
Okay, but they've never stolen money. I'm almost certain.
Yeah, I don't think they care about those things, though. They're running from the law, right?
Yes. I don't know. I don't think the law has really made an active effort to catch them.
I mean, you are right, but leave it up to the 10-year-olds.
Oh God. Well, why would you rather lend money to James?
So like I said, I think Jessie is more likely to use it for nefarious purposes.
Wow.
And I think James is just gonna do something dumb with it.
Like what?
I don't know. Go buy a nice outfit. Or buy his Pokemon some food or something, because I feel like he cares more about his Pokemon.
I'll agree with you on that point. There is a scene from, I think it's Pokemon Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, where all the characters die, like they normally do in every Pokemon movie.
Uh-huh.
And every character releases their Pokemon from their balls, so they don't die too, except for Jessie.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Well, dang.
I know that... Can we bring up how, every Pokemon movie, everyone dies? Or at least Ash?
I mean, there has to be some weight to why the movie is being made, right?
So we're gonna just kill 10-year-olds?
Yeah, why not?
Or however old Jessie and James are?
I mean, they always come back, though, right?
I mean, yeah. So,
there's no real stakes. You just have to pretend that there's stakes.
I don't know. I still think, but Jessie, I feel like she needs the money to, or not needs, but she deserves it more.
I mean, whatever.
What, she's always trying to finance.
To be fair, though, they're partners.
They are, but I feel like they have very different goals. We look at the seasons, Jessie's always trying to finance these, passion projects. She's trying to be a Pokemon coordinator, a singer, a dancer, an actress.
Get your life together.
Hey.
No, I'm
Rude.
kidding. I'm kidding. I mean, if anything, I relate to her more.
Exactly. And wouldn't it be nice to make those dreams come true?
I mean, I don't want a handout. She shouldn't either.
Wow.
No, but I get it, but also I don't know.
You just think she's evil.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And James isn't?
No, I think James is being strung along.
Oh, wow.
That's my hot take.
All right. Listeners, like, who do you... Well, then, secondary question, listeners, who the fuck do you think is more evil, I guess?
I mean, they're both part of Team Rocket, so, you know.
Yeah, and they both try to steal Pikachu.
Just Pikachu.
And also, folks, who would you rather loan money to? Who deserves it more, I guess?
I don't even think it's about who deserves it more. It's just who do you trust with your money more?
Who do you... well, okay, I guess it has to do on principle with how I loan money in that I don't...
Ah, gotcha.
Stress on the, hey, when are you going to give it back to me kind of thing. I'm just like, if you owe me money, I'm like, just do it whenever, as long as you do it.
Oh, yeah, I'm like that too, but... I did not think either of these people would give the money back.
All right, then, yeah. And then, okay, no matter what, we're losing the money.
Yeah.
All right, listeners, who would you rather lose money to? Jessie or James?
Oh, man.
Before we move on to the things we got excited about this week, we wanted to take this moment to thank our patrons. So Eloy and Sus, thank you so much. Eloy, thanks for playing Apex with me, and how dare you dye your hair green like Sal. And Sus, thank you so much for your continued support, and thank you for making me those bags on WoW Classic. If anyone's on Fairbanks, you should join mine and Sus's guild. I don't know why I put mine first, because I didn't make it. But yes, thank you so much, Eloy, Sus. You guys are great. We love you guys.
Yeah. All right, Alan.
Hello.
Why so formal?
Greetings, friends. Ishnu Allah.
Oh, no. I'm losing him.
I just been constantly saying that to my friends who are also playing WoW with me, and they're like, oh gosh, he's an elf. Sorry, I want to tell another quick story about my friend Jeff and Gerard who were playing WoW Classic, and they got RP'd on.
Oh no, they're playing too.
Yeah, so they made a couple of trolls on the Horde side, and they were just walking around doing quests, and a couple of orcs come up to them and they're like, you guys are in the wrong neighborhood. This is an orc neighborhood.
Oh god.
I'm like, what the fuck? They got RP'd.
That's great.
I just thought that was so funny.
That's fantastic. But anyway, what did you get excited about this week, Alan?
All right, I got excited about Steven Universe and the upcoming Steven Universe, the movie.
Whoa, so it's not WoW.
No, it's, I know, hard to tell, right? But yes, on September 2nd, we're getting the Steven Universe movie airing on Cartoon Network. So, for y'all listeners, it's already gonna be aired. So I hope you enjoyed it. But the movie takes place 2 years after the finale of the show, and we get to see our favorite main character, Steven. He's like a shonen boy, Sal.
That doesn't get me to want to watch it.
No, and yet you're always cheering on Tanjiro.
Yeah, but he's different.
And what about Shinra?
You like Shinra more.
Oh, well, yeah. Anyway. Well, Steven's a very good boy, and we get to see him growing up a little, because now he's 16.
Whoa.
Yay. And yeah, he's enjoying the calm and the happiness that they fought the whole show for. Now, Sal, how much of Steven Universe have you seen, or even how much have you been tangentially aware of?
I've been aware of it. I see a lot of fan art. I've maybe seen half an episode once. That's about it.
All right. Well, the most concise description I can give you, Sal, is Steven Universe is like America's equivalent of a coming-of-age musical anime.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly.
Okay.
And this show actually does pay homage to a lot of animes, and one of the episodes was actually animated in part by Their name is Takafumi Hori from Studio Trigger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Mindful Education, people. That episode's great. But the show was created by Rebecca Sugar, who previously worked on Adventure Time, which is, as you, Sal, know, one of the most important things in my life.
Yes.
But she was a writer, a storyboarder, and a music composer for Adventure Time. And it was her music that, for Adventure Time that I got obsessed with. She wrote a song called Everything Stays for like the Marceline short series on Adventure Time, which that song actually came out after Steven Universe began. But whenever I need to do a mic check, I sing that song.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's these songs she wrote that, I feel like they really gave Adventure Time so much of the personality of the show. And so when I heard she was leaving Adventure Time, I was initially very sad because I felt like the show was losing a very vital part of its identity.
Right.
Luckily she came back and wrote a bunch of songs like Everything Stays and the finale song that fucking made me cry. So, in hindsight, it was a little silly to have gotten so sad. But Steven Universe, it aired in 2013 on Cartoon Network. But I was at the gym, and I distinctly remember watching the pilot episode of the show on Rebecca Sugar's dad's YouTube channel. I don't
at
even
the
know.
Gym.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it was after the workout. I was waiting for my family.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like, I'm doing reps and I'm like watching this pilot. Although that'd be great. But no, I don't remember how I even found her dad's YouTube channel. But I did, and I watched it, and I just fell in love with the pilot. And I mean, I don't know what happened later because the pilot got taken down. But the show itself, it went on to be amazing. The main attraction from Miss Sugar's work was her music, and the music I feel is the best part of Steven Universe. And if anyone wants to listen to some of the music just to get a sample, it is on Spotify. Some of my favorites are Here Comes a Thought, Distant Shore, and Dear Old Dad. Just a few of the choice tracks on there. And it's a moment right now that I wish I knew anything about music or sound design, or even composition, because there's nothing I could say that would do the music in this show justice.
That's literally me anytime I talk about music.
I think that's literally us for anytime we want to appreciate some form of art.
Yeah.
We're just hopeless and clueless.
But we know it's good.
But I love the sound design so much. Like, every character gets their own, like, distinct instrument. So, like, my favorite is, like, Pearl, and she gets, like, piano music, right?
Right.
But then whenever they get the characters in scenes together that require music, they'll combine the instruments to make like an ensemble or whatever.
Oh, that's really clever.
It is, right? I think I'm just saying like sounds and word garbage right now. I just think it's genius. And it's such a pleasant thing to hear. But yeah.
I am surprised to hear you say that because I've never once heard that Steven Universe had to do so much with music.
Really?
Yeah. So this is the first I'm hearing about that.
That's kind of crazy because like it really is one of the major appeals of Steven Universe. Like there's so many songs, man. This upcoming movie is gonna have 38 tracks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense. Okay.
And a lot of the cast have musical background. Like Garnet is Estelle. Pearl is Dee Dee Magno Hall, who background is musical theater, I believe. And I don't know much about Zach Callison, or I think Amethyst's name is Michaela Dietz.
Got it.
Yeah, so I'm not sure, but they all sing, and they all do a fantastic job with the voice acting, but also the singing.
Right.
Also, Tom Sharpling, who I think is a comedian, plays Steven's dad, and he's like my new favorite TV dad.
You and dads.
I feel attacked.
My bad.
Nah, you're good. But no, just yeah, the music is it's such a massive part of the show, Sal. I'm really surprised you haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, it's weird because if someone came to me and was like, yeah, it's kind of a cartoon musical, I would have been way more on board. But no one ever said anything about it, so I just kind of was like, I'll skip it.
Well, I'm telling you now, Sal. It's a cartoon musical with your favorite coming of age story.
Well, dang. Where have I been?
I should also say the composers for the show are, I'm going to butcher their names, but Ivy and Sarashu, who I had to go to their SoundCloud pages prior to listen to the music of the show before it was on Spotify.
Nice.
But yeah, their sound is oh gosh, it's like it's electronic music, but also with piano.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's got like the tranquil sounds of piano, but with the fun. I guess I think they called it chip tunes. The fun beat of chip tunes.
Got it.
Like I said, I know nothing about music.
Yeah, I wish I can, combine these two and then be like, oh yeah, you're talking about this, but no, I got no idea.
Just before we started recording, Sal, and I was going to get coffee, I was listening to the soundtrack.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just sing this in my car. But beyond the music, like, the show has some pretty phenomenal writing and animation. One of the things I love about the story in the show is the tone. Because we see the whole show through, like, Steven's point of view, right? Because he's the main character. The show's named after him. But so the tone of the show starts off initially very, like, fun and innocent because he's a kid. But like I said, it's like coming of age. So the tone starts gradually shifting to a more, like, serious and actually kind of sinister tone. But it still retains a lot of the fun and innocence, kind of. No, it's innocence, but not like naive innocence, you know?
Right. It's still a kid's show.
Yeah. So that tone shifts because we see Steven growing up. We see him learning about his origins and his parents and his family. So that shift in tone, it feels very mature as a show, despite being a kid's show.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like a lot, or at least I'm probably generalizing, a lot of like television nowadays kind of looks down on their audience.
I don't think so. I think before maybe, but we've definitely.
Or yeah, sorry, before, not now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Steven Universe was 2013, like that era.
You're right.
Yeah, the show also like explores some pretty like wild themes, which I think is pretty great. Like we've got LGBTQ plus and identity themes. We have non-traditional family models. The importance of artistic expression, just to name a few of the themes they explore.
I do remember that the whole LGBT thing being talked about a lot, but I didn't really look into it. But I know it was very much surrounding this show.
Yeah, I think, what was it, like a few weeks ago we were talking about Young Justice?
Yeah.
Like, I think this show, and I have no proof of this, but I feel like Steven Universe really helped open the door for talking about this kind of stuff in children's media. Because this is like 2013 show airing on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
And Rebecca Sugar did, make this a big part of her show. There's an episode where they did essentially a lesbian wedding, and I think it was an interview. She said she knew she was putting her show at risk. She is also the first woman on Cartoon Network to ever have like created a show. And she said, okay, I know I'm putting my show at risk, but it was important to me that, we tell a story like this.
Right.
Yeah, so it is a big part of the show. But yeah, I don't know. And I felt that was important.
Yeah, I think that is important and very admirable of her, if that's for lack of a better term, I guess. But yeah, you can see like that this show could be one of those stepping stones among others, right?
I don't know. Like, I guess maybe because, like, I have a short memory. I don't. I feel like I have good memory. But, like, from a few years back, I can think of maybe Legend of Korra.
Yeah. Just because we can't think of any doesn't mean it probably
they don't
wasn't
exist.
there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess preceding all this, we had Glee.
Yeah, well, that doesn't count.
No, it's not children.
But Adventure Time did something as well, right?
Kinda. I think it trended towards that later after Steven Universe came out.
Ah, I see.
Because, like I said, it was risky.
Right.
And there was even a point where, oh gosh, it was either Marceline's voice actress or Princess Bubblegum's voice actress that tweeted out, oh yeah, they used to date, but then they had to delete that tweet. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, I can't think of anything, but it definitely would be one of those shows because now we're becoming a lot more open.
I think it helps also that despite the trend of like private streaming services, I think there's less constraint on storylines like that.
Oh, definitely. The fact that you don't have to essentially get approved by a whole... Like, you still have to get approved by whoever you're working for, right? But it's not like this is going to go, like, directly towards kids. So it needs to, be within these boundaries. And it just gives writers a lot more freedom in the kind of story they want to tell.
I was like, we have to assume we're also not part of that industry.
Yes, we have to assume.
Gosh. I wonder how much of this show is us speaking out of our asses.
Probably a lot, but
Yeah, no, the theme that really spoke to me though, like for this show was just the non-traditional family models, right? I guess we have a lot of shows like out that have explored things like, a family isn't the stereotypical nuclear family, right?
Yeah, the whole like chosen family kind of thing.
But I guess I don't know. I guess this is the first show I can recall that theme really meant something to me. And maybe it was just the period of time, high school that I was watching this show.
Right.
But that was important to me when I saw it. And then lastly, just like the animation in the show, Sal, is so, I don't know, it's like, so I was talking about homages to anime, right? And you saw Dragon Ball Z at some point, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we have a lot of fusion dances in the show.
Whoa.
And each of them is like animated so well because they do a literal dance and it's choreographed so well. Each of the characters have their own like dancing style. And my favorite still is Pearl, who does a lot of ballet.
And now I see why you like this show. It has transformation sequences.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Oh my god, I was going to say, the transformation sequences are so fucking beautiful. Again, going back to, I don't know anything about animation, but it's such a pleasant... The colors in the show are so, on average, they're just very bright and upbeat. It's very fun. But even when it gets to those more sinister and dark, like, hey, it's still really colorful.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of fighting in the show, Sal. So there's like battle choreography as well, and everyone has their own personalized weapon. So you get to see all these different fighting styles. You have swordsmanship, you have brawling. Steven has a shield. So I used to make fun of like Goofy in Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to fight with a shield? So, I guess Captain America showed me otherwise.
Yes.
But yes, it's just so beautifully animated. I just wanted to, and that's what I got excited about. I'm really looking forward to the movie, and I just want to spend my time this week talking about Steven Universe and how much I love it.
I mean, yeah, that sounds cool. I don't know why I didn't ask this earlier, but what is the premise of Steven Universe?
All right. So we have Steven Universe, a half human, half gem hybrid being. And gems are these aliens who are on Earth. And we have a group of them. Our main cast are called the Crystal Gems, who have sworn to protect Earth and its inhabitants from monsters, right?
Okay.
And that is the premise of the show. But there's a lot shrouded in mystery of who the fuck are the gems, and how did Steven come to become this hybrid, and where did these monsters come from?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's for some reason giving me like Sailor Moon vibes.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, because that's also, gosh, the magical girl genre is littered throughout this whole thing.
Okay.
I think that's why I like Pearl so much, because like she's very Sailor Moon, and I grew up with that too.
All right. Well, I wish I wish all this was explained to me before, because this actually sounds really cool.
Right? It's such a great show. I'm sure people know about it. Like, I don't need to sing its praises anymore.
Yeah. I do want to know, though, for the
Yes.
audience as well, do you need to have seen the show to watch the movie?
Oh gosh, I don't know. According to reviews of the movie, because it hasn't come out yet for us,
Right.
it's approachable for newcomers and rewarding for longtime fans. Is the
Okay.
quote.
Because if I just went in with the movie and then watched the show, would that be fine?
I'm sure it would be fine, but the show itself is 5 seasons. But it came out during the time when when the shows became the 11-minute format.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty easily bingeable, though.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I love it.
Yay! Please watch it, Sal. I really don't have any other friends that watch Steven Universe. I have Madison, but she doesn't really keep up with shows.
Ah, I see. Yeah, since I couldn't get into Adventure Time, but this sounds way more up my alley. So
Oh, definitely. Listeners, if you are a longtime Steven Universe fan, please at me. Okay, so Sal,
yeah.
tell me what you got excited about.
All right. So this week I got excited about 2019's adaptation of The Joker.
Starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. It is also directed by Todd Phillips, who also directed A Star is Born, as well as a bunch of comedies. I don't know how that fits in with this, but he did like The Hangovers.
What?
I know. I'm like, how did you go from that to A Star is Born and now The Joker? But anyway, was also written by Todd and Scott Silver. So
it's funny you say he did A Star is Born, because apparently one of the producers on Joker is Bradley Cooper.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, sorry, go on.
No, I like that. The final trailer just dropped. It is coming out in October.
Ooh, perfect.
Yeah. And I thought I would take this time to give a little history lesson on who the Joker is, so we can better understand how this movie came to be, I guess.
Sure.
Alright, so the Joker, which everyone should know, is a DC Comics supervillain created by Bill Finger, Bob Kane, and Jerry Robinson. He first debuted in Batman #1 in 1940. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, that's wait, what? Was that during? Sorry. I'm horrible with history.
Oh, I don't know history either, so please.
All right, yes, this was during World War II.
Yep. I do remember comics being really big during, I'm guessing it's the Second War. I don't know how far back comics go, actually, but during one of the wars, because it was kind of a form of, like, escapism from reality. which is kind of depressing when you think about it, but
I did not know that. Origins of comics.
Yeah. So in his first appearance, he was portrayed as a criminal mastermind who was also a psychopath, and it is pretty close to the iconic Joker we know today as his first appearance, but it changed over time. And so this is where I created my own script. I looked some things up, but I wanted to talk about just the Joker and not necessarily just say what he's in. So this is kind of opinion and kind of fact sprinkled in.
Okay.
So the Joker can be broken down into essentially 3 archetypes from his history, and that would be the clown, the mobster, and the psychopath.
Uh-huh.
So the clown archetype came in 1954. This was like shortly after his debut, when the Comics Code of Authority was created. And this was a thing that happened when parents started, I guess, reading the comics and figuring out that there was a lot of violence and stuff in them.
Is this like the ESRB for comics?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so the Comics Code of Authority was created, which restricted writers from showing gratuitous violence, sex, profanity, nudity, etc. So DC turned the Joker into a more jokey, like, thieving trickster. And that's
the clown.
Yeah, that's the clown. We don't have many examples of this. I think Tim Burton's Batman is probably the best.
But everyone's a clown.
But yes. So that's who he was for a while until he actually stopped getting written, because people didn't really want to write the Joker this way. So he actually stopped showing up in Batman for a couple of years until he returned again. I guess the Code of Authority was kind of gone away at this point. But the clown version of the Joker actually brought in a lot of stuff that we know about the Joker today, like the kind of instruments of killing he uses.
It defined the aesthetic.
Yeah. So that is the clown. Next is the mobster, which is probably one of the most prominent throughout all of his run in comics. It is the fact that Joker runs essentially a part of Gotham as this mobster, and I think it's also the Joker that kind of gets left behind as well, because we don't see it as much. Like we see him as like this like crazy psychopath, but we don't ever get a lot of behind the scenes. Is like he actually works in the underground, is really threatening and fights the other supervillains a lot.
Ah, okay. I was gonna say that I feel like they tried to do that with Jared Leto's Joker.
Yeah, but I think a better version of that would be from The Dark Knight.
Is that Heath Ledger?
Heath Ledger's Joker, yeah. Because it kind of was pulling a lot of that, because it was definitely about the criminal underground and why he's crazy. But yeah, so that is the mobster. And then and for this version of Batman in the 1990s, I think it was during the animated series, he had a character design, and that's where you get like his trench coat and fedora.
What?
Yeah. So
I don't think I've ever seen this Joker design.
Really?
Excuse me. No.
Oh, okay.
Trench coat and fedora. Is he Carmen Sandiego?
An evil Carmen Sandiego, yes. So
Carmen Sandiego was evil in her original run.
Oh, you're right. I do remember you saying that. But yeah, so and then last would be the psychopath, which again is kind of, he's always been crazy, but it wasn't until Dennis O'Neil's run of Batman, which was Batman number 251, that he actually became legally insane.
Oh.
And this was also the introduction of Arkham Asylum.
Okay, I was gonna say, so like, yeah, the asylum, right?
Yeah, so instead of locking Joker up in jail, he would always go to the asylum. And I think a very good example of psychopath Joker would be during the 2011 reboot of DC, The New 52. The Joker was actually remade into a more crazy version of himself, because in this version he surgically cuts off his face and then like reattaches it with like belts and hooks, and he looks very not pleasant to look at.
Oh gosh, this is a horror movie. This is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Joker.
Yeah, but I bring up these three versions of the Joker because I think those three are kind of the things you need to understand about the Joker to, you know, understand what his character is and kind of where the story in this movie is coming from, because it takes parts from a lot of these different aspects of who the Joker is.
Mm-hmm.
Just to name a couple more examples of who the Joker is and some amazing things he's in. Batman the Killing Joke. It is a comic where he shoots Barbara Gordon, and that's how she becomes
Oracle.
She gets handicapped. That was a huge turn in his character. It was actually designed to not be a part of canon, but I think people liked it so much that it became canon. So that's really interesting.
I want to say that they adapted that one into a movie, and that movie was a little whack.
Yeah, the movie is... Go read the comic, guys. The Killing Joke also was a version of Joker that they actually did a whole origin of the Joker. I think a lot of people think that the Joker doesn't have an origin, but his origin has been explained a couple times.
Wait, what? Oh, well, because I was going to say part of the history I know is that his origin as the Red Hood.
Yeah, so he does have his history explained a couple times, but nothing has been, like, definitive. Like, it's all kind of been, this is this person's backstory of the Joker, and then the next time he gets a backstory, someone changes it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there has been no, like, concrete... So I think that's why people are like, oh, he doesn't have a backstory. And he's never named either. So...
Oh, as his human, quote unquote. But this Joaquin Phoenix, I don't know why I'm calling it Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Everyone's calling it that. But this Joker is an origin story movie, right?
Yes, and he is named. So that's why it's going to be a lot different. But some origins of the Joker, like you said... one version is he used to be a villain called Red Hood before he became the Joker. Another one was he fell into a vat of toxic waste, and that's what turned him into the Joker. And then in The Killing Joke, he was like a washed-up comedian that kind of went psycho. So there have definitely been a lot of versions of the Joker, but...
The one I know I thought was interesting because it was it's like a combination of all the ones you said except for the comedy one, where he was the Red Hood and he was a petty criminal and he got knocked into the vat of toxic chemicals accidentally by Batman, who thought he was some other person.
Uh-huh.
And it was just this like, the Batman created the Joker, literally kind of thing that I thought was cool.
Oh, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa. So then his whole, like, he's just trying to atone for creating the Joker.
Yeah, that is cool.
I don't know where that history is from. I just remember seeing it animated.
Right. So it's probably just from an animated show?
Yeah, I mean, because it was a while ago and I didn't read comics until this year.
Uh-huh.
There was a fun version of the Red Hood I saw in Batman Brave and the Bold. You know, there's that universe that they showed on Crisis on Infinite Earths with the opposite where everyone's evil.
Yeah.
Oh, there's actually two. So there was one in Crisis on Infinite Earths where the Joker was like the jester or something. He was a good guy.
Okay.
But he was still a lunatic.
Right.
And then there was the one in Batman Brave and the Bold where he was still the Red Hood. And he was a good guy. And he used like throwing cards, like a gambit. And that was neat.
Was he like anti-hero like the Red Hood we know now?
That I'm not sure. Batman got pulled into the whatever evil universe. And Red Hood was already there, and he had to help the Red Hood. And we didn't know, or Batman, I guess, didn't know it was the Joker until at the end of the episode when he took off the big helmet he was wearing.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing in that version, he'd already fallen in the vat of toxic chemicals, and it disfigured him.
Yeah.
But he didn't become evil.
I see. Yeah, so other storylines, A Death in the Family, which is when he kills Jason Todd.
Is that the one where the people voted and then he died?
Yeah.
The fake vote?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Apparently Jason Todd wasn't liked, and so they were like, we're just gonna get people to do the dirty work and vote.
But supposedly 300 of the votes that helped put the vote over the top to kill him was from one person who, like, spoofed it.
Yeah, so, you know. But I like the fact that Jason Todd died because it did give us Red Hood. And I really enjoy Red Hood.
We can say that now.
We can say that 2020. Now. But, you know, also, something I recently read, it's called The War of Jokes and Riddles.
Ooh.
It is a, I think, like 6-issue run of the Joker versus the Riddler, and Batman's kind of stuck in the middle. And so Batman's trying to just stop them from essentially like wreaking havoc on the city because they're at war with one another, and all the criminals are like siding with either or, and no one wants to get between them, and just there's so much just bloodshed of it's really good. I enjoy it. But
is that archetype the mobster one then?
Yeah, it's more of the mobster.
Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of The Godfather, but ever since I saw 91 Days, the anime, I want to read more stories like that.
Nice. I have all the comics, so I can actually lend you those.
Yes, I still need to give you back your Wicked and the Divine.
But yeah, so these are kind of all the versions of the Joker that we've known. There's plenty more, but, you know. So that brings us here to the trailer of the Joker, which, have you seen the trailer yet?
I did.
Okay.
I'm still confused but I mean, that's the point of this is an origin story that you're not supposed to know the whole thing right away from the trailer.
Yes. It gives you kind of very little going because it is an origin, so it would be a better idea to kind of, you know, we know the Joker's going to turn into a supervillain, and I think that's all we need to know. So I think the trailer did enough to get people really interested, but not too much, because trailers nowadays have not been doing a good job at that. But it does seem that we have a lot of good stuff here. There are a lot of bits and pieces from what I've talked about that have made up this Joker that we're seeing today. So, like, he is mentally ill, and you can see that by the fact that he's talking to, like, a therapist the whole time, who doesn't seem to be doing their job right, but that's beside the point.
Well, I think that's supposed to be part of it, right? Because otherwise, the message is mentally ill people are wrong. But this is like, hey, mental illness is a thing, and our current, I guess, accessibility to treatment like therapy isn't adequate.
Absolutely.
Not that I think that's just me. I don't know if that's actually what they're going for, but
right.
You know, speaking out of my ass again.
I mean, you can only speculate because we haven't seen the movie.
Yes.
So that's fine. And then the clown, he's like a washed-up comedian in this version as well. And it seems like he really wants to do good at his job and be this like person that can make people laugh, but everyone treats him like crap.
Yeah, like okay, I didn't realize he was supposed to be an entertainer because I just saw him doing like billboard signs or the sign flipping in the trailers prior.
Oh, okay.
And this one.
No, there's several instances where he talks about that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the whole mobster thing isn't, I don't think, a focus because he's not the Joker yet, but you do see a lot of people rallying behind him, and I think you get those vibes of he's going to be this person that is going to lead essentially a army of people that are like him.
Definitely. There's because they had the thing that's like, we're all clowns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I have high hopes for this movie. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is an incredible actor, and
I'd only seen him in Her prior to this, but I really did like Her.
Yeah. And, you know, the writer and director, I mean, A Star Is Born. I only heard good things. I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either.
But I'm just going to take people's word for it. I did like The Hangover, but you can't really judge this movie on comedies.
Dark. What is this movie? What is? It's probably too soon to put genres. What is it?
Yeah,
is this a dark comedy?
I honestly don't know.
Is this a thriller? I know it's rated R, which is the most exciting.
Yeah, I want to say it's probably like maybe like a mystery thriller kind of thing. But I mean, it is still kind of up in the air, which is part of the reason why it's exciting because we don't know.
This is definitely one of those like, we're watching for the ride because we know the destination kind of things.
Yeah, and I do really love that kind of storytelling. It's not being bogged down by all the superhero stuff. It is a very grounded story about a single character. You don't need to know who anybody is, which is really nice, so anyone can go into this movie without knowing anything. And it's gonna... I read that it's good, like a character study. And those kinds of movies I really enjoy. You know, getting to know a character and why they are the way they are and how they turned out that way. I've talked about this in the past. Like, I love those kinds of stories. But it actually reminds me, a lot of the stuff that happened into it or happened in the trailer reminds me of a show I recently watched. It's called Mindhunters. Have you seen that?
I've heard of it, but I have no idea what the show's about.
I only watched the first episode, so I can't really tell you. But there was a scene in there that really kind of got me hooked on it. So I need to go watch it again. It's about this dude who he was talking in the scene. He's talking about a serial killer and why they had gotten to this point in their life and what could have been prevented. But the cops that are in the room don't care to hear it because they think he was just born a monster.
Oh.
The show is set in the 70s though, so that kind of makes sense. But he goes on about you don't need to have sympathy for a monster, but showing empathy is kind of what makes us different than them.
Yeah.
And it was like this whole kind of discussion about, you know, what, like, everyone is human and whatnot. And so I think that kind of thing is being displayed here, where it's like, this guy is going to turn into a monster, but, you know, we can relate to a lot of the humanity that's actually inside of him.
That's why we like Tanjiro, right? He can empathize with the demons.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he says like, hey, you know, you don't, the whole sympathy, I don't know where I'm going.
I get it. I got you. But
to your point, I was going to say like, well, I think it's set in the 70s, but I think we still make this mistake nowadays. I think this is what they call fundamental attribution error, where we're just assigning things like, oh, that's just part of them, their character, right? Like they're born with it.
Right.
Or maybe it's Maybelline. But, dang, okay. But so then That's why character studies are great then, right?
Yeah. So it's just like breaking down fundamental aspects of what makes people the way they are. But yeah, I think that's all I got. I am really excited about the movie, and I have high hopes for it. So,
What's been your favorite depiction of the Joker?
I don't... It's hard to say because I do like it when he's crazy, right? Because I think that's when a lot of the more interesting storylines come into play. But not when he's too crazy. Like, Joker being this very intelligent, meticulous guy who is constantly outwitting Batman, who's supposed to be the greatest detective of all time. I really enjoy that aspect of the Joker. So, regardless of whether or not he's crazy, a mobster, or a clown, like, just him constantly, like, outthinking and outwitting people and, you know, just showing off how smart he is. I like it when that happens more than...
Yeah, just that he's intelligent and amoral, not so much that he's insane.
Yeah.
Just amoral. Did you read any of the Batman Who Laughs? Because you'd really like that then.
No, I haven't read any of it.
Oh my god, that one I actually have all of them. We can do a comic book trade.
All right. I do remember really liking the Batman Who Laughs in DC Metal, but I didn't pick up his actual comic.
Oh, they're very good. It's literally all that, because it's like, what was it? No, it's just Batman and the Batman Who Laughs butting heads over, like, it's like Death Note, basically. You know, the whole, like, planning aspect?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. But yeah, I think I like that version of the Joker whenever he's like that. It only happens in versions of the Joker where it's just the Joker and Batman. Whenever the Joker is a part of an ensemble, he's always, like, reduced to this, like, crazy maniac, and I don't like those depictions.
Okay. The team-ups.
Yeah. Because you kind of have to backseat him, because you usually have, like, people like Lex Luthor or the Brain or people that are supposed to be smart. And so they get the archetype of being the smart one, and then the Joker's just the crazy one.
Meh.
Yeah.
Well, luckily this movie's gonna be all Joker.
All Joker all the time.
You bring it up that, like, it's really grounded in reality, and that's really starting, because I only know that, like, kind of super, like, weird supervillain origin falling into the vat.
Yeah.
So this is actually kind of really cool.
It is. I'm excited.
All right, we'll see you people in October then.
Yeah.
And we'll probably see it with the It Chapter 2.
Nah, man. It Chapter 2 comes out next week.
What?
Yeah.
In September.
Uh-huh.
All right, then. Never mind.
I don't know why, but yep.
That was what we got excited about this week. The Steven Universe movie and the Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Both movies, surprisingly. Was it, listeners? Thank you so much for joining and enthusing with us. If you like what you heard, consider sharing it with a buddy so you guys can nerd out together. If you like to help out the show, a review on our iTunes and Stitcher pages would go a long way towards podcast visibility. If you have any recommendations for the show, feel free to put them in the comments of our SoundCloud page. That's like recommendations for things we should check out or improvements to the show. We'd love to have those. If you want to see pictures from our convention coverage or just kind of see what we look like in real life, you can check out our Instagram. If you like what we do here on Those Nerds Over There, and, you know, we want to help produce the show, then consider becoming a patron. It's thanks to the support of our patrons that we get to set this time aside each week to make this show. And we also try to reward our patrons or, give back to our patrons with some fun bonus content. If you want a place to hang out with us, then feel free to join our Discord. We have dedicated channels for topic discussion, show improvements, nudger offerings. If you want to play WoW Classic with me and want to be on Discord, I'll be there. Links to all these pages can be found on our website, thosenerdscast.wixsite.com/home. That's ixsite.com/home. Sal, do you have anything to plug?
All right. So if you want to find me on social media, I'm at Salzik on Twitter and Twitch, and at Mr. Salzik on Instagram, and then on my blog, gotamoment.com, which is GOTTAMOMENT.com.
And you can find me on Twitter at @arielize_. I don't post too much, but it's a pretty good way to get in contact with the show. Or you can always reach out to us on Twitter at ThoseNerdsCast. Thank you again so much for enthusing with us this week, and we'll see you again next Wednesday.
Goodbye.